Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue aujourd'hui. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today. Le cours d'aujourd'hui, c'est le. Today's class will be on time, okay? And we definitely all know how important that is, to everything that we do in life, right? So to kick it off, we're going to just recap. Um, I would expect you to, by now, know your numbers because that's what we're going to use in today's lesson. So that we can be able to ask time related questions, make time related sentences, and at the same time, at the end of the lesson, I would expect you to be able to, write, read, and speak time in French. Outside of this class, you can engage with that in society, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself. So let's kick it off with rule number one. You already know what numbers 1 to say 100 is, all right? But no clock, no watch, says 100 o'clock, right? No, it doesn't. So we're just going to learn what really exists, practically exists here in life, So 1 o'clock in French is une, right? You simply add an e after un. 2 o'clock, deux heures. 3 o'clock, 3 heures. 4 o'clock, 4 heures. 5 o'clock, 5 heures. You get the drift, right? Good. Now, you will notice that every time after 1 o'clock, the letter S is added after E, right? That's because it's plural. So just keep that in mind. And that S at the same time isn't pronounced, it's very silent. So 6 o'clock in French would be 6 heures. 9 o'clock, 9 heures, not 9 heures. All right. So let's dive into rule number two. Whereby we're going to be dealing with a 12-hour system. Okay. So whereby the sequence of time goes around in 12. All right. So yeah. So in this instance, 12 o'clock is, as you know, is 12 heures. But you can't quite tell whether it's in the morning or in the afternoon, right? But so with the 12-hour system, there's a way of writing or speaking 12 o'clock in the morning. You can simply just say 12 heures or 12 heures du matin. And if it's in the afternoon, midi. It's just a four-letter word, right? So what do you think 1 a.m. in the morning will be? Yeah, you got that? Okay. So 1 a.m. in the morning will be 1 heure du matin. And 10:20 p.m., 10h20 du soir. Le soir. Okay. What about 3 p.m.? Good. So that'll be 3 heures de l'après-midi. So you get that. All right. But these are formal ways of saying this. Okay. Informally with your friend, your family, someone that you're really close to, you can just simply say 3 p.m. as 3 heures. Okay. Another informal way of saying that, like saying an o'clock in French, is using the four-letter letter, sorry, that's four, yeah, four-letter P, right? P, not pile, okay? So if you want to say 300 dots, it would be trois piles. So what's the time? If someone asks you what's the time in French, quelle heure est-il? You simply respond as il est 3 pi, il est 9 pi, which simply means it is 9 on the dot. Okay, so what you see on your screen in bold are formal ways of saying time. Okay, informally, like I said, you can say 12 a.m. in the morning as 12 heures. Formally, you can say it as 12 heures or 12 heures, 12 heures du matin. Got that? Cool. Now we're going to move on to the 24-hour system, which is in rule number 2. Okay. So how would you say, just like we've learned before, that 12 o'clock in the morning is 12 heures or 12 heures du matin. All right. You can also say that here, but it won't sound right? Because it means something else. So instead, 12 a.m. in the morning, because you've gone round the clock, would now be Venkata. Got that? Venkata. 12 p.m. in the afternoon, you can call it as Duza, but officially and best, whether formally or informally, once again, use the four-letter word midi. Okay, 3 p.m. Right. So if 12 is Duz, 1 p.m. will be what? Una or Treze in the 24-hour system. Okay. 2 o'clock will be what? 14. And yes, 3 p.m. Kenze. That is like 1500 hours. Okay. Now we've gone now to 8 p.m. What do you think that will be? Or pronounced as you see on the screen. Yeah, that would be Vanta. Awesome. So you see that for the 24-hour system, you're going to be counting 1 to 24. All right. But in the 12-hour system, you're simply just counting 1 to 12 in French. Okay. Cool. So let's do a little in-class like quiz or assignment. All right. So take note that when you want to say it is in French or it's in French, you can say il est. All right. So here I would like you to write out the 12-hour system for each of these answers and then the 24-hour system for each of the answers. Okay. In answering numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to help you with number 1. All right. So if someone asks you, quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Your response would be, it is 2 p.m., right? In French, that would be, il est. Can you guess? Yeah. So, il est 12 heures. 2 heures, sorry. Il est 2 heures. In the 24-hour system, it would be, il est 14 heures. So unofficially, if you want to say on the dot, it is 2 on the dot, for example. Yeah, you got that. So that would be il est 2 p or 2 heures p. Cool. So try answering numbers 2 to 7. All right, you can write them in the comment section, and I'll have a look at them and engage with you and all that. Now, with that, we can now take a little break, right? Because it's been, mentally quite a lot to take on. But to calm things down, and put things into perspective, as we're taking this break, just realize that number 1, we've learned we're bringing numbers into time. So that makes it easy for us. Okay. We've learned number 2, we've learned the 12-hour system. And number 3, we've learned the 24-hour system. All right. Good. So now what I would like you to do is, as you take a break, you can walk around, go walk somewhere, listen, maybe watch TV if you want. Just get up from where you are, okay? And look around you or imagine what time it is. You can look at your watch or whatever, and just imagine what time it is and practice pronouncing time at that moment, or practice pronouncing what the answer would be for that question you set in mind for time. Okay, using maybe the 24-hour system or the 12-hour system. All right. Now with that, you can pause over here and go through that, and then when you're ready, you can resume the next part of the lesson, which isn't going to be a lot. It's just one thing that we're going to look at right before the end of this lesson. Cool. So right here you can pause, but if you're ready, you can progress to the next part of the lesson. Okay, So, bienvenue, welcome back. And right now, we're going to be looking at some key expressions and words. These are not going to be all of them, there are many more. But just like English, if anyone's learning English, there are going to be different words and expressions they're going to learn. So, that's why the dictionary is quite important. That's why also it's also important to try to watch or listen to French TV, radio, articles and news, and just learn new expressions in there. So your dictionary is going to be your friend. In all of this. Awesome. So, related to time, today in French is pronounced as aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui. Tomorrow, demain. Demain. Yesterday is pronounced as hier. Okay? Hier. The H is silent. And when you want to say at or to, it's pronounced as a. Just one letter. A. Around or about a place, it will be pronounced as there. The S is silent. And just as I had used an example earlier, to ask for time, what is the time? It is quelle heure est-il? Quelle heure est-il? And if you want to ask at what time is it, at what time is the event, at what time is the party, the question in French would be c'est à quelle heure? So if I want to ask at what time is the party, I'll simply ask c'est à quelle heure la fête? All right? Cool. Right. So these are just some expressions you will be hearing more, you come across more, depending on how much you engage with reading, watching, listening, to French stuff. So don't be afraid to go in there. And if you don't understand a certain word, a certain expression, the dictionary is always going to be your friend. And with time, you're going to pick it up. Okay? So let's make some sentences based on these expressions and words. Also, while also using time that we've learned, how to pronounce time and identify time in French. So, what time is today's party? As I said earlier, you can say c'est à quelle heure la fête or à quelle heure est la fête d'aujourd'hui. Okay. What time is it in Paris or Paris? Preferably as it's pronounced in French, Paris, because the S is silent. What time is it at Paris? What time is it at Lagos? The question would be quelle heure est-il à Paris? Quelle heure est-il à Lagos? Quelle heure est-il à Accra? Okay. What about what time is the meeting tomorrow, or when is tomorrow's meeting? There are many ways of putting it. One way is le rendez-vous demain est à quelle heure? Le rendez-vous demain est à quelle heure? Cool. All right. So, like I mentioned earlier, these are just some expressions, some ways of asking questions. You will learn them along the way. The more you engage in French content, whether it be on the news, whether it be written, audio formats, visuals and all the like. So I would, just pick up anything. Watch French TV, read French articles or news. Just little things, as simple as possible. And you find out that your vocabulary and your expressions in French will increase. Yeah. So there's a little assignment there once again of how to say the restaurant opens at 9 a.m. to 11:15 p.m. Already you know what 9 a.m. is, because that's in the morning. You know what 11:15 p.m. is. Good. And I'll give you a hint on what opens is in French, which is ouvre. Likewise, what restaurant is, the restaurant, which is pronounced as le restaurant. So I'm not going to answer this for you, all right? And give it a try. Put a line in the comment section what you think or how you think it is going to be written in French. The restaurant opens at 9 a.m. to 11:15 p.m. Now it's okay if you want. There's no need for you to write 9 a.m. That is never in words. Okay, you can simply leave it as this. Likewise, you can just leave 11:15 p.m. just as it is in analog form. There's no need for you to write it in words. Okay. All right, let's do this. Rather than you write it down in the comment section, right? I'm going to also help you as well, but try to write it down in the comment section first before I mention it. Okay, cool. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Awesome. And if you don't get it, right, I'm just going to, what you hear from me, write that in the comment section like a dictation. Okay, cool. So the restaurant opens at 9 a.m. to 11:15 p.m. In French, that would be le restaurant ouvre à 9 heures à 11h15. So not 11h15 because it's PM, sorry. So that would be 22h15. 23h15, sorry, 23h15. So the restaurant opens at 9 a.m. to 11:15 p.m. Le restaurant ouvre à 9 heures à 23h15. Fini. But like I mentioned earlier, your 9 a.m. and 11:15 p.m., there will be no need for you to write any words. You can just leave them as that. All right. So we have come to the end of today's lesson on time. C'est la fin du cours d'aujourd'hui. Right? And in the next class, we'll be taking on a different challenge. So what you have to do right now is just simply pause right here. You can take a break, and at any time, come back again to relearn what you've learned today, and at the same time, go out there and practice. So you can look at your watch, you can look at the clock, any form of time, even in written form, and try to pronounce it, try to write it out as well. Okay. So if you see, if you come across a news, and it says, for example, "Welcome to the 9 o'clock news." Already you know that welcome is bienvenue. Okay. And two is a. Okay. And then you can start making sense. So what is 9 o'clock p.m. in the 12-hour system going to be? What is 9 o'clock a.m. in the 12-hour system going to be like? What is news in French? That way you can go through to your French dictionary and find that out. Okay. So well done, and see you in the next class. Au revoir. À bientôt. Ciao.